Hi, it's Travis here, and today we are going to be reacting to Blizzard announcing their latest expansion. Hopefully it's pretty good. Supposedly, people think it's going to be the Dragon Isles, but who knows? Let's see what they have in store. Kind of hope they surprise us a little bit.
Hi everyone, I'm John Haidt, General Manager for Warcraft, and with me today are my friends Ian Hazacostas, who is the Game Director for World of Warcraft, and Holly Longdale, who leads up the production team for WoW Classic. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know we're really excited to be able to give you updates on what's happening in World of Warcraft. But first I want to thank our community for all the feedback you've given us this year, and especially our Community Council. You've helped shape and influence the updates that we've done recently and what you're going to see in the upcoming year.
I mean, really, for Shadowlands in particular, the story of the last 9 months or so of this expansion is all about the community, and it's shaped by what we've been hearing from them and us realizing as a team that we just collectively needed to do a better job of making sure the community felt heard. And so that led us to the changes we made in 9.15, but also really re-examining some of the assumptions and foundations of World of Warcraft about things like character investment and mains versus alts, or how catch-up should work, or the appropriate role of friction in our systems. And I think 9.15 represented a step in the direction of letting players have more freedom to play World of Warcraft the way they want to play it. And we really built our Eternity's End content update from the ground up around those principles.
What are some of the things that the community said that influenced your decisions for Eternity's End?
Things like the method and pacing of acquisition of the Covenant Legendary item, tons of tuning, and I think every step of the way, we were listening to make sure that we were carrying forward those lessons learned in the course of 9.15 into Eternity's End and beyond.
So WoW Classic came about because of the community.
Yeah, they continue to help guide and support us as Classic evolves.
World of Warcraft has always been about the world and the players that inhabit it, and we are in a lot of ways curators and caretakers of that journey and of that experience. And so once this Classic community formed and grew, we had to listen to them.
It's this tide of listening to the community and paying attention to what is a good experience for our players now. And where we really saw a sea change in this idea is with our Season of Mastery realm, which is a Season of Fresh Start Classic. And initially we were talking about it like it was going to be like a fresh start. Let's try this experiment in a season. It'll be about a year long. And then when the community found out about it, we started seeing this upswell.
Yeah, the team just took that idea and ran with it.
Yes.
And turned, what started out as a small community project into this Soul of Iron system that became a centerpiece of Season of Mastery, and a whole new opt-in hardcore mode that we've seen communities built around. Yeah. Lots of,
Yeah, it was a good addition to the game.
Painful defeat.
5 hours. I made it 5 hours.
Yeah, and it continues. Like Burning Crusade Classic, we wanted to balance the Paladin seals between Horde and Alliance, so we made an addition there. We wouldn't have gotten there without the community's input.
So, influence the community, you've got another update, and pretty significant controversial change for this.
Yeah, cross-faction play coming in 9.25. Which is on our public test realm now as a big centerpiece.
Cross-faction. Yep. You're breaking with a 17-year tradition.
Yeah, it's something. It was not an easily made decision by any means, and I think this is another one of those areas where really
it's a good decision.
Take to heart community feedback and requests, and ask ourselves as a team whether there's a way to accommodate such an earnestly held desire.
The Alliance is struggling.
And still feel like we're being true to the roots of the game. I think players desire to play with their friends who might
Too many people like
faction,
playing Horde.
or to play with the faction that they more closely identify with, even though their raid group is elsewhere.
It's really important for me. I play a lot of alts, and I love absorbing the story for each race, and having that ability to play with all of my friends across factions is fantastic.
At the end of the day, the battle cry is for the Horde. It's not against the Alliance. It's not death to the Alliance. It's about pride in one's faction. And I think there's a way to preserve that and even strengthen that while giving players the ability to make the same choice we've seen the greatest heroes make time and time again.
I can't wait to do this. I'm seeing a lot of my friends that I never knew had a max level character in the other faction suddenly come out of the woodwork.
And then with these cross-faction groups, many of them are going to be diving into something new that we're doing to kind of cap off Shadowlands, a Season 4. Kind of a remix of a bit of a greatest hits, revisiting all of our raid zones across the expansion, bringing in some familiar older favorites into the Mythic Plus rotation. And we recognize this is kind of a closing chapter, a little bit of a send-off to Shadowlands. As everyone gets ready for what happens next, and what will come next, want to give a fun new challenge for everyone to sink their teeth into.
Really cool stuff for Modern WoW players.
It's pretty good.
Super excited about the gear upgrades that you're going to give me and the chance to go back and play some of those awesome raids.
There's a lot to explore. Very exciting.
For our next adventure in World of Warcraft,
The end of
We're gonna go
retail
back to
expansions
Azeroth.
are always,
we're going to a space
it's always pretty good.
high fantasy.
Usually a good time to
Our
come
fans
back
have
to the
asked for this
game.
for a long time. This has been kind of the foundation of much of the lore of WoW. So without further ado, let's watch the cinematic.
Here we go. This is it, guys.
The world has been sundered. It cries out in pain. We must go to its aid. We entrust our ancestral home to you, the Watchers.
Are those Titans?
Let the land slumber, hidden even from our own eyes. You will feel our return in the waking of the land. Then you must light the beacon of Tearhold, lest the path home be lost to us forever.
No way. Okay. He came back. That's good. Oh, no. This is the first time. Oh, my gosh. Cinematic was going, and now it's lagging, dude. We're back. Alright. Well, it's looking like the leaks were right. See all the dragon aspects flying around?
The world is healing. But her fate is yet uncertain. Together, we shall be Azeroth's protectors once again. Here, the new age of dragons shall begin.
That's what it was. World of Warcraft Dragonflight. So, so the leaks were real. Could you imagine the graphics actually look like that?
Dragons.
This
pretty
is
cool.
so cool.
No one saw it coming.
No one saw it coming. Carefully kept secret.
No one saw
But
it.
seriously, I mean, what did we just see there?
The awakening of the Dragon Isles, the return of dragons, the dawn of a new age. Right, we've seen Rathian searching for his father's legacy, searching for the Dragon Isles. There's a reason why he hasn't been able to find them until now.
The beacon going off, is that summoning the dragons?
It is removing the concealment that had hidden the Dragon Isles from the world, but also beckoning the dragons back urgently in a time of need.
I assume pretty good variety of locales within the Dragon Isles.
Yes, the Dragon Isles, as kind of standard for WoW expansion, consist of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone that we'll get to in a second.
That's
Can you
cool.
talk a little bit about how
New
the
starter
team
zone.
found ways to thread the
I like how
dragon
they're doing
aspects
that.
throughout the environments?
The Dragon Isles are a place that is lush and primal, bursting with elemental energy. As Azeroth herself reawakens, those primal forces are expressed throughout the environment, whether it's magma activity, volcanic activity, whether it's the icy wastes of the Azure Span, and each one of those has a connection to a Dragonflight that we've seen before. And it's going to be an amazing place for players to arrive at and explore.
All right, you know I'm going to ask.
Yes, okay, so
Can I be a dragon?
let's start getting into some features here and what Dragonflight means for you as well as just a place. So first off, yes, we have an all-new playable race, the Drakthir race.
Yeah.
The Drakthir.
This is a draconic race, but dragons in Warcraft have the ability to take on a humanoid form.
What classes can they be?
They have unique abilities as literally a dragon. That doesn't quite fit any of our existing classes. And so what we're doing is this is not just a new race, but it's also a new class.
Oh, I
adding
knew
a new
it.
race to World of Warcraft, and not just an
I
ally
knew
race
they
is
were
something
making
we
a
don't do
dragon
lightly,
class.
But telling this expansion, this story, so focused around
I was talking
dragons,
about that.
felt like the perfect time for it. So if you are a Drakthir, you will be the Evoker class. Drakthir can only be
Evoker.
Evokers, Evokers can only be Drakthir. And the reason why only a Drakthir could be an Evoker is that an Evoker is really combining the ability to call upon the magic of the different aspects with the unique physical gifts that a Drakthir has. The ability to actually take flight and do an Onyxia-style strafing deep breath over the battlefield, land on the other side, knock everyone back with a wing buffet, and then unleash your magical abilities.
Yes, please.
It's cool that they got a new
The
class.
Evoker has 2 specializations. They're a hybrid of either ranged DPS or healer. And they wear male armor. We figured, you know,
That's
with
good.
the new hero classes,
That's good that they
classes we've
wear
added
male.
over the
They need
years,
more
we
male
have
ar-
enough melee,
male
we don't
armor
need more
classes.
of those. And also probably don't need any more leather wearers.
The raid leaders
Yeah.
are going to love you for that.
Exactly. This is definitely a hero
was good.
class.
Good
And
choice.
so that means that, you know, like the Death Knights before them or Demon Hunters, they will be starting level 58, and then they're going to have a new starter zone. So they're going to have a slightly different journey into the Dragon Isles as opposed to the rest of us that are sailing there from other parts of Azeroth.
Can you talk a little bit about the customizations? Like what is going to be able to identify my Drakthir character?
Basically anything and everything. You know, skin color, hair color, jewelry, tattoos, other adornments. You can make this character the expression of your identity in Azeroth.
New zone, new class,
Yep.
new race.
Sounding
Tell
pretty
us
good so
about
far.
some of the system updates or
So,
features.
of course, the new expansion brings with it, new systems, new features. I think in recent expansions, one of the things we've tended to do is really have these deep features that were closely tied to a specific expansion that would then get left behind as we move on.
This is the big news right here.
And we've heard loud and clear from players that, it's kind of a bummer to start off every new expansion by leaving a large part of your character behind, by leaving a large part of your progression behind. So this time around, what we're doing is really pouring all of our energy into permanent revamps, overhauls, and improvements to World of Warcraft's core systems. Things like our progression systems, in this case, our talent system, is something that we want to completely revamp. We want to take a look at our UI. We want to take a look at professions.
So with the talent revamp and the arrival of Classic, did you learn anything about how our talents work?
I think seeing a new generation of players play with those talents and work through those talent trees really underscored some of the things that, frankly, we lost when we shifted to the Mists of Pandaria style talents and beyond. A big piece of that was just the granularity, the feeling of getting a level and spending a point to customize your character to make yourself a bit better in some specific way.
They're going back to that.
But also, that sense of hybridity that you could have. That's something that we've largely lost. And so the new talent system avoids
Going back to talent
directly
trees.
pitting player power throughput choices directly against those
all
sort of
coming
utility
full
hybrid
circle.
choices, because we
That's
know
good.
that there's always a right outcome there. And we also understand that there's a lot of strength in the flexibility of the modern talent system to let players customize their talents for a particular encounter or for dungeons versus PvP, and we don't want to lose any of that.
So John, UI?
Oh my God. Yes, I got this 30-inch monitor trying to keep track of where I am on the map, all my buffs, and over here, what's going on in chat. It has literally made my eyes go like this. So,
You're not alone in that. We've made a lot of incremental changes and additions over the years, but really this is a revamp, this is an overhaul. And so we're excited to really modernize the look and feel while staying true to the origins of World of Warcraft. Now, at the same time, we're not looking to take away the sort of power user customization there. Add-ons are still there if you want them, but we want a much better default out-of-the-box experience for all players, new and old alike.
and can I reduce elements, remove elements, if I want to explore the world and see the beauty of Azeroth?
When it comes to specific elements, as much as possible, we want to let players choose what to show and what to hide so that they can control it themselves.
You mentioned professions.
It's nice.
I have a critical question about this.
Well, we already got add-ons
Can
to
I
do
wear a
that,
chef's
but
hat?
it's
Yeah,
good.
I knew it.
Our approach to professions in Dragonflight is really all about delivering on fantasy and identity as a crafter. And so if you want to be a serious blacksmith, if you want to be a great leather worker, we want to deliver the ability to invest time and energy into that, become a master crafter, be able to make items that are in demand, interact with the community. One of the big pieces that we want to do to support that is a new work order system to have a bit more convenience than just spamming trade chat all day. But if you are someone, you're not yourself a blacksmith, but you have a bunch of mats and you want them forged into a great sword, you can put that work order up, list your mats, offer a commission, and a skilled blacksmith can come along and make you the weapon of your dreams.
I think we left out one thing, though. You can be a
That's
Dractyr,
cool.
go to Dragon Isles.
I wonder how that'll
Can
work,
I have
though.
a dragon?
What's the fantasy of
If
dragons
people actually,
if
like,
not
use the work
soaring
order?
over the lands? And so we're really excited to introduce a feature that we're calling dragon riding. It's dynamic with everything from momentum to dive bombs, the ability to just sort of build that speed up and feel the world rushing past you in a way that should be much more exciting than traditional flight that we've made available in the past, but that's also available for players through a customizable dragon mount right from the start.
So this is a skill you learn over time, right, to become an awesome dragon rider?
Yes, you'll be able to sort of upgrade aspects of your flight, but you will have this new form of flight from the start. And the Dragon Companion that you have is, of course, very thoroughly customizable, which is a new thing for us for mounts. This is not just a generic dragon that everyone has, but a drake that is yours. What do you want its scales to look like, horns, the shape of its head, other attachments, armor pieces, and more. Take
Customizable
your pick.
mount.
This is so cool.
So yes,
Wonder
the
if they'll have
Dragonflight
races.
expansion is going to see players leveling to 70, going to the all-new continent of the Dragon Isles, which consists of 5 zones, 4 standard leveling zones, and a new starter zone for our Dractyr class, as well as a range of systems revamps, such as a new talent system, an overhaul and update to our UI, and an entirely fresh look at professions with more depth than ever before. Also, getting around the Dragon Isles is going to come in the form of dragon riding, which lets you customize and upgrade your own mount so that you can fly in a sense from the start. And of course, as with any new expansion, we have a new set of dungeons, a raid, and much more to come.
We also have an alpha that will be starting up in the future.
Check out our website for more information, and keep an eye out for those opt-in signups if you want to help us test out Dragonflight and give us even more feedback to make it better.
All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the World of Warcraft Dragonflight announcement. I must say, I was pleased with a lot of the information that they provided. The zones look beautiful as always. I've always been a fan of World of Warcraft leveling zones. They added ducks to the game, which I think was long overdue. It's about time they got some ducks. And they also have a new class and race, which is the Drakthir Evoker. It's been a while since they added a new class to the game. Last time they did that was in Legion with the Demon Hunter. So I'm happy that we're going to get to try out a new class. And then dragon riding, I thought was somewhat all right. I wasn't too pumped up about it, but it looked cool. I hope they add a game mode like dragon riding racing to the game. I think that would be a fun little game mode for people to play around with. And I heard that supposedly there's talent trees for dragon riding, so you can spice up your flight a little bit. And you can also customize your mount, which I thought was pretty cool. The HUD and the UI change, I was like, it's no big deal. I use ElvUI, but for a new player, being able to just, change their UI without having to download an add-on is good. Happy they did that. And bringing back talent trees was great. My favorite expansions were obviously Classic TBC, and Classic Wrath of the Lich King, so I'm happy they're going back to the talent tree system. And the professions, I was kind of interested in. The work orders, I don't know how this is going to work, but hopefully the items that these professions give will have enough demand so that people will actually want to make a work order for it. Because if there's no demand for it, then it's going to be kind of boring. But I like where it's going. The professions needed a revamp. So I hope it works out. One thing that they did not touch upon was external powers that they've had in the game for quite a while now, since Legion. Artifact power, Azerite power, and Covenant abilities. And I was hoping that they would touch on that and say that they would be taking them out of the game or removing those systems from the game. But we didn't get any information about that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And yeah, overall, pretty happy with the announcement. And I will most likely be playing the game. And I will probably be leveling a Drakthir Evoker in the future. But as always, guys, that is the end of my reaction and review of the announcement of World of Warcraft Dragonflight. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.